Today we will learn about bond polarity. The question of the day is, what is the definition of electronegativity? How will electronegativity affect the electrons shared in a fluorine-hydrogen bond? So, just like in real life, sharing is not always fair or equal. When atoms share electrons in covalent bonds, the sharing is not always entirely equal either. One atom may get more of the electron than the other. It's kind of like two kids playing tug of war with a stuffed animal because they both want it. In the end, the stuffed animal, or the electron's charge, will be split up between the two. So how do you know who gets the bigger share? Well, electronegativity is used to measure the attraction for electrons in a bond. You can determine if electron sharing is fair by calculating the bend. B is for bond, E is for electro, N is for negativity, D is for difference. Remember, you calculate a difference by subtracting. So, you need to subtract the electronegativities of the two atoms. This symbol, a lowercase delta, is used to represent a partial charge. Since electrons are shared, it is not a full positive or negative like you'd find in an ionic bond. A bond formed by the unequal sharing of electrons between two atoms is called a polar bond. In a polar bond, one atom is pulling harder in the tug of war over the shared electrons than the other atom. In this case, hydrogen has an electronegativity of 2.2, and chlorine has an electronegativity of 3.2. 2.2 minus 3.2 is 1.0. Since chlorine is bigger by 1, then the electronegativity, or the charge of the electrons, is going to shift towards the chlorine. Since the bend value is high, then poles, or positive and negative ends, are formed in the molecule, the hydrogen being slightly positive and the chlorine being slightly negative, since it attracted more of the electron's charge. However, when the sharing between atoms is equal, then we call this a nonpolar bond. So in this case, we have two chlorines, each with an electronegativity of 3.2, and when they pull on the electron, it's going to exert the same force in both directions, and the charge isn't going to move at all. Once again, in a nonpolar bond, both atoms pull on the shared electrons with the same strength. Since the bend value is 0, there are no poles, or positive and negative ends, formed. Pause the video and try the show what you know questions. Now, let's determine the bend, or bonding electronegativity difference, for each of the following. Then determine if the bond is polar or nonpolar. If we look up bromine on the electronegativity table, we will see that it has an electronegativity of 3.0. So 3.0 minus 3.0 gives us 0. Because there is no electronegativity difference, bromine molecule is nonpolar. Now let's look up hydrogen and chlorine. Well, chlorine has an electronegativity of 3.2 and hydrogen has an electronegativity of 2.2. When we subtract these, we get 1, which has a high bend value, so that means that we have a polar bond, with the electrons being closer to Cl. So the partial negative is on the Cl and the partial positive on hydrogen. Now let's look at hydrogen and phosphorus. Well, we already know that hydrogen is 2.2 and phosphorus is also 2.2. So when we subtract, we get 0, and our bond is nonpolar. Next, let's look at sulfur and hydrogen. We already know hydrogen is 2.2 and sulfur is 2.6. So when we subtract these, we get 0.4. That means that there is a electronegativity difference, and it points towards sulfur. So we have a polar molecule with sulfur being slightly negative and hydrogen being slightly positive. Finally, let's look at chlorine molecule. Chlorine has an electronegativity of 3.2, so when you do 3.2 minus 3.2, you get a difference of 0, which is nonpolar. Now, let's look at some more examples. Chlorine and bromine. Well, chlorine is 3.2, bromine is 3.0, so when you subtract, you get 0.2. And that means that we have a polar bond with the electrons going to the chlorine. So the chlorine is slightly negative and the bromine is slightly positive. Next, let's look at carbon and hydrogen. While carbon has an electronegativity of 2.6 and hydrogen has an electronegativity of 2.2, so the difference is 0.4. Since there's a non-zero electronegativity difference, our bond is polar, and we have the electrons going towards the carbon. So the carbon is slightly negative and the hydrogen is slightly positive. So sulfur's electronegativity is 2.6 and phosphorus is 2.2, so the difference is 0.4, which means we have a polar bond with the electrons being closer to sulfur. So sulfur is slightly negative and phosphorus is slightly positive. Here we have oxygen, which has an electronegativity of 3.4, and when we subtract that from 3.4, we get 0. So we have a nonpolar bond. Lastly, let's consider nitrogen and oxygen. So our electronegativity difference is 3.4 minus 3.0, which is 0.4, and that means that we have a polar molecule with the electrons closer to the oxygen, because oxygen had the higher electronegativity, meaning nitrogen has a slightly positive charge and oxygen a slightly negative.